7, 9, 4, 3, dead.
Get in position and wait for my go.
Hello everyone, I'm Chris Erkley. Welcome to a special edition of the PE Crime Blotter. We're discussing surveillance cameras. There's been cameras in both Redlands and Moreno Valley. In Moreno Valley just recently, but in Redlands for over 5 years now. I'm joined now by Press Enterprises' Brian Rokos. Brian, we understand these have been put in by the city and observed by both the sheriff and the city police to kind of prevent crime and also reduce the amount of officers that have to respond to crimes.
Right. Moreno Valley, the sheriff's department monitors cameras that are owned by the city of Moreno Valley. There's about 250, 260 cameras, a lot on signal poles or in parks in Moreno Valley, about 120 in Redlands. There have been some concerns along the way about Big Brother watching you, but actually since these cameras have been put in, there have been very few complaints and concerns. Moreno Valley has held community meetings to address that situation. Redlands has a citizens advisory council. They meet and they talk about issues, and so it's been a good thing. The police are telling me for deterring crime and also solving crime after the fact.
As far as examples of when these cameras have been used, you have an incident on camera actually that we have here of a traffic collision in which two people were both trying to blame each other for the accident, but this camera kind of helped out the matter.
Right, it's kind of a he said, she said type of thing. Both parties said the other were at fault. You see the green light, and now you want to watch the car on the right that's waiting at the intersection. It's a green light. He obviously has a red light, and still has a red light, and there he goes into the intersection, and look out, look out! And fortunately, the person who was hit was not seriously injured, but that obviously was able to solve the question of who was at fault.
These cameras actually have pretty good definition, even with zooming them in. Not as much capability at nighttime, but we have little video demonstration here of kind of the capabilities of this type of technology.
Right, this is in Moreno Valley again. We're going to see the zoom capability. You see zooming out far in the distance, you see a building with kind of a shadow, and you can't really tell that there's anyone there, but we zoom in here. This tape is provided by the Riverside County Sheriff's Department, and there you see the person sitting on the trash cans by the shopping carts. So this is helpful for the police when perhaps a call of a subject disturbing has been sent out, and ahead of the officer's arrival, the police can take a look at the individual. Is he holding a weapon? What's his description? Which way is he going if he's leaving? And so it's been proven to be very helpful there, proven to be very helpful looking back in the past at who might have been at a location when a crime has occurred.
For instance, there was a situation with an individual with some brass knuckles that actually helped out the officer that responded to the scene.
Right. It was at Moreno Valley City Park. Sergeant Jim Rails of the Sheriff's Department was looking at the screen, and he saw a person with brass knuckles at the park. He notified patrol officers, and as one showed up, he could see the suspect putting his brass knuckles underneath a hat on a bench. And so the officer gets that information as he approaches, and then he gets the suspects to disperse a little bit, and it's like he had x-ray vision. He picks up the hat, and voila, there's the brass knuckles right underneath.
And a little bit different type of story, but in the city of Redlands, they have one of the cameras actually at one of their local schools.
Right, at Mariposa Elementary School, there's a legend of the ghost of Billy. Supposedly he was killed in a bus accident some years ago, and people go up to the school, especially on Halloween coming up now, looking for the ghost of Billy, and they tend to trample things and break things, and so they put a camera up there with a speaker, and they're able to tell people to disperse when they see people trespassing. So far, it's kind of a funny thing with the police department in Redlands. So far, the dispatchers have resisted to the temptation to go on the loudspeaker and pretend that they're Billy. I think that that would freak some people out, but it seems like an opportunity that's hard to miss, but they're resisting that temptation.
You gotta imagine that speaker would almost scare people more than the ghost himself. All right, Brian, thank you for joining us. That does it for this edition of the PE Crime Blotter. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.